At the end of the movie where he comes in with
a big black
eye before they shot that scene that they cut. So he does have a black eye at the end of the movie that's never explained. It's a nice shot.
So is that frustrating? Because that as you're shooting something, like that you were talking about that other series and how badly written that episode was and stuff, that as you're filming it and they're making all these changes and things are happening and you're realizing, ooh, this is not turning out the way we thought it was. Is it frustrating to you as an actor to think, oh,
when my house,
be a piece of
my house in the movie, my character's house was an abandoned house, so it had no heating. And this is Bethel, Maine, and it's probably about 2 degrees in the house.
Oh.
And I'm supposed to be in normal clothing, period clothing, like I'm not cold. And the snow started to melt in Bethel at the same time. Like, Bethel has the latest snow, I guess, in the United States. It has the snow the longest, which is why they chose to shoot there, but they went too long with their shoot. So my grass was green. So whenever anyone comes in or out of my house, they have to open the door this wide and shimmy in so that you can't see the green grass. People enter and exit extremely oddly. And they also had to buy snow from the ski. There is a ski slope, a ski thing there. It's a ski town, so they had to buy truckloads of snow
from their snow machine.
And they'd have people from the town out there. They'd pay them to just
bring their snow there.
So there was just one mishap after another. I mean, John was really over that. There was one night apparently where they were supposed to have like a little trailer for him and his sidekick and the little girl to stay in because they were shooting out in the middle of a meadow. So they have to have a trailer for them because it's like 2 in the morning. I don't know why.
It's too friggin' cold.
It was too. The trailer didn't work, and it was like it was getting swampy out there because the snow was melting. So the thing, apparently, John said the thing was
listing.
Like it was, and they're just like standing in the doorway, kind of like shouting out, "Oh, come on!" The crew turned on that too because the crew was non-union, and they did like a whole deep throat thing with the OTC. So they met in the middle of the night, and they turned, so the guy had to pay them much more money too. It was a.
Sounds like an adventurous life.
At least we were together, was what we thought. There were some moments there. John had the flu too at one point, and that made for some shooting problems when there was a bathroom very close too, so he was pretty miserable. Yeah, Bethel, Maine. Thank you for that. The worst problem was just that the little girl who was the lead in it, she's such a sweetheart, but she can't act her way into a paper bag, so she had only one expression the entire time. Her mother wanted her, her mother's nice too, but her mother came up to me once and said, Jordan Player, she had an accent, she said, Jordan Player, she just loves to act, but she just doesn't know how to be sad. She doesn't understand that emotional kind of stuff.
Whack her, she'll learn how to be sad.
Well, that's the thing is when I had scenes with her, I would scream at her because like when she's supposed to be really sad, I would just be yelling my guts out because everyone was like, yeah, do that. It really helps because like then she'd sort of like get one little tiny expression that would go through her.
Yeah.
Such a nice girl, but just
put her back on the play yard.
John and I are proud of a lot of our stuff, I guess. I'm joking. He's shooting a new Roland Emmerich movie. I don't know if Gary told you, up in Vancouver.
I don't know the name of it.
It was 2012, and now it's Farewell Atlantis, because I guess in the Mayan calendar, the end of the world.
Yeah, is 2012. Yeah.
2012, December 12.
Yep.
Yeah, and Roland Emmerich did The Day After Tomorrow. That movie.
Yeah.
So he's a disaster guy.
Is that when Independence Day?
Yeah, but see, he did Independence Day, and then he went and ruined everything by making that god awful Godzilla.
Yeah.
It was just awful.
That was him.
Yeah. Yeah. And then and yet he also had done Stargate, the feature film, which was really good. So it's like good stuff. Good.
Well, John
Nothing
said
in the middle.
Yeah, John said the script to this is pretty sucky. It's not like John Cusack, but again, it's the waters are rising and John tried to explain to someone the other night. It's like something in the solar flares are causing things to do stuff under the crust that's causing waters to rise, and so everybody's building arcs.
So he's like a scientist in this, is that right? Or
He's Professor Weston.
Right. Okay.
He's a British scientist, but apparently he gets to stand around a lot, and then he sort of goes and says something about something technical, and then stands around for vast swaths of time again. But he's getting paid.
We made T-shirts when we did Waterworld because there was just so many things going wrong with it. We made T-shirts because for a while we did the same thing. We weren't getting paid and we weren't getting the regular checks we were supposed to be getting for doing all the work we'd been doing. So we just stopped sending them stuff. Boy, did they suddenly start sending the checks again.
What did you do on Waterworld?
We built most of all the hand props for Waterworld, and everything had to look as if they made it only from things they could find in the ocean.
I like that movie. I know it was supposed to be.
Well, I mean, it wasn't bad. It's not nearly as bad as people think it is, but they had a lot of cost overruns and weather problems. They were shooting out in Hawaii, and the floating island city that they built, half of it sank, and they had to rebuild it. And to get all the materials out there as quickly as they needed to, they had to build a runway on the part of the island because it was the only way to get the supplies right there. So they built a runway so an airplane could land and drop off supplies. But they for a while we weren't getting paid, and so we stopped sending them stuff until the checks started coming. And so we jokingly made shirts. We made shirts. It's like Waterworld. Well, at least we got paid.
Well, there was that Maggie Gyllenhaal. There was just another movie that got the plug pulled like 3 times. They kept trying to. It's hard. The financing just falls through on everything.
The only reason why Waterworld got finished is because what's his name? The fellow who starred in Costner. He had to put up the finish money out of his own paycheck, out of his own wallet to get it finished. So.
Was he one of the producers on it?
Yeah, he was one of the producers, and it was in his clause that if they went over budget, he had to pay for anything that went over budget.
That's never going to be an
It's
argument.
part of the entertainment business. Things never work out.
Yeah, but you know what though? On the other hand though, believe it or not, it eventually made money simply because of the worldwide production, worldwide sales of the movie, as well as they have 2-3 Waterworld shows that are still going on. They do it here at Universal LA, they do it in Florida, and they do it at the Universal Park in Japan. The live action show. He gets a cut of that. Yeah, because he produced the movie that it's based off of, so he gets a cut of that. Spielberg gets money for the Jurassic Park ride. You know, it's his film.
We still have the SAG cards.
Have y'all heard anything else about what's going to go on with 24s? Because see, John is actually in the season of 24 that was cut short because of the writer's strike.
Yes.
And he apparently gets beat up quite a lot.
He's just covered in blood. He was sticky. He couldn't read his book. They tortured him by pulling his fingernails off. So it's not real, but.
But basically, there's been rumors about whether it will or won't be seen in the new season, or whether they're going to do a TV movie out of the episodes. Have y'all heard anything?
Oh no, it's coming back.
Oh, it is coming back.
No, it's coming back next
doing
year.
Not till next year,
They're doing
right?
the prequel movie.
Yeah, 2 hour.
Yes, in November. It's between the 2 seasons in November, and I'll come back for the regular episodes in January.
Okay, so
Yeah,
John's
Tony Todd's in the prequel. He's an African warlord. And John, actually what they did though is they did stop production because the episodes, I think they're rewriting the next 6 episodes because they're not good enough. I don't know who's the executive producer. It's not Kiefer Sutherland, is it? Someone else.
He's one of them, but Manny's one of them. Manny Cole's one of them.
Yeah, I forgot Brandon. I know Brandon. But they did rewrite John's. He's in 2 episodes, and they rewrote the first one because his character wasn't even explained.
What can you tell us about his character?
He's a scientist. Surprise, surprise.
General.
You know which series I really loved, and I was so disappointed it didn't work out, was The Nine.
Yes, thank you. I was just going to ask about that. The
I
Nine.
really liked that show.
Yeah, he and I talked about it. I think, it's funny because I was worried when I watched the pilot because I loved the first half of the pilot. It had me on the edge of my seat, and then I got a little bored in the second half, and I just don't know that they ever quite figured out how to integrate. I wanted it to kind of focus on the robbery and let us ease into getting to know people, I think.
It was obvious they were going to have a little bit of trouble as they went through, but I thought the initial idea was great, and I got really attached to 2 or 3 of the characters really quickly by the end of the pilot. So I wanted to watch just to find out what was going to happen to them.
Did he ever tell you, did you want to know what happened? At least in the first 13 episodes?
Well, because they never did finish did they?
I think they, once the writer's strike hit, I think they only showed a couple more episodes, but I don't think they showed all the episodes.
No, they only aired 6.
Yeah.
Out of the 13. I can tell you